Hello, welcome back. It's Saturday, May 14th. So, will they, won't they? We're back at this again, always with these two. So, will Oprah give them a second interview? And will they or won't they attend the Jubilee? They just love keeping us questioning this, right? It keeps them in the headlines and they have to mull it over even after they've already graciously accepted that they would go. But let's get into it. There's my disclaimer. All right. Prince Harry and Meghan might be planning another sit down interview with Oprah Winfrey. She's had her team or people contact them. The latest claims have really gotten under Meghan's skin. Reports from Heat per OK claim she's told her team that something needs to be done. She's so sick of the negative headlines and she's desperate to come out fighting with some major damage control. Meghan feels as though she's doing another chat with Oprah is the best way to change the narrative and counter all the negative claims coming at her. And some of these are coming out from Tina Brown from the Palace Papers, and we know that Tom Bowers is going to have some coming out too. But this touches again on when she was going on the tours and how she said that she couldn't understand why she had to greet everybody and why people came out. She just didn't get what it was all about and what she was there for. So in the book, Brown speaks to several royal contacts about the couple, something which reportedly has really gotten under Meghan's skin. So she's talked to people that were ex-staff members, and they've been able to tell her a lot of things that are being put or that were placed in her book. So Meghan's coming out fighting. Here she is acting all impulsive again. Oh my God, reaction. For every action, there's a reaction. She just gets, boy, I think she just gets in a fit of a rage and thinks, I just got to fix this. Come on, people. This is what I pay you for. Let's get something done here. Let's counteract all this negative press. Tina Brown also thinks that there's an effort to reel them back in at some point. Not for a bit, but her guess says that they want to actually come back. They won't actually want to come back. And I think Harry wanted to be half in, half out because he didn't want to leave to start with. He had to because he said he had to protect his wife, but she was going to go without him. It was just either go with your wife or he was going to be left behind and his child taken with her. So Tina Brown also said she thinks when the Queen dies that she believes that there'll be kind of a desire for Harry to serve his country, that she thinks he'll have a change of heart and that he will feel badly about deserting Queen and country. So, just going back over the secret meeting. So, the Platinum Jubilee's coming up. So, guess what's happened? Neil Sean then has reported in one of his videos, and this is the transcript from it, that even after it was reported by the palace and said that you won't have a spot on the balcony, only working royals. So what then happened is about 16 minutes later, Omid Scobie puts out something saying that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are very excited and they're, happy to attend and, looking forward to it. Okay, as soon as that happened, then now it's been reported by Kensington Palace that Meghan and Harry have reached out and said, well, we know what we won't be doing, but can you tell us what we will be doing? Can you tell us what the itinerary is? We just want to know what kind of functions that we're going to be invited to and when are those going to be so that we can plan? Well, it's still a ways off, and I'm sure they have in mind what they're going to be doing, but, here's Miss Control Freak, and she's got to know exactly because she has OCD, and she needs to know everything that they're going to be involved in. And I think this is so they can go back to Netflix and be able to see if there's a way that they can get pictures being with the family or get pictures of the kids being with the Queen. It's all about protecting their brand. So even though those have already been banned, this is what she's trying to get this information for, and I would think they're withholding it from them up until the last minute. So anyway, Neil was trying to ask the folks at Kensington Palace, so, is it confirmed by the Duke and Duchess that they're going to be attending? And it said, no, at this time, that they're not willing to fully commit, so it's not been confirmed that they will be. Of course, they want to do it on their own terms, and that said that there's no use getting in touch with their team because they're not going to be able to tell you anything at this point. Neil says that it doesn't matter, shouldn't matter what they're going to be involved with. It should matter that that it's an honor for the grandmother, and they should come over and be a part of the family and make her happy if this is what they want to do. But here they are, they're digging their heels in and retreating a little bit. So I think it's possible that Meghan may not be happy with what they're going to be invited to and what they're not. So she may decide that they're going to pull out or not allow him to go. As far as Oprah, I don't think she's going to want to do it. Let me tell you why and give you a little bit of a background on her. Oprah was born January 29th, 1954. She's 68 years old today. She grew up in a very small, poor town, rural Mississippi, to a poor teenage mother, and she'd been suffering from abuse since the age of 9. Run away at 13. She became pregnant, 14 years old, and she lost her only child. Then she moved to Tennessee to live with her father. She won a state beauty pageant. She did well in school, worked very hard, got good grades, started working part-time reading news at a local TV station. She then went on to Tennessee State College on a scholarship. She majored in communications. After graduation, she worked at a Nashville station, and then she was hired as a co-anchor for a primetime news and co-hosted a show called People Are Talking. She did this for 5 years. Then she went on to be on a morning talk show in Chicago, Illinois. Later, she would end up owning her own show and just becoming a billionaire and being the executive producer and having all the credits. I think that's what Meghan thought. I want to be the next Oprah Winfrey and the Obamas as well. But it went on to say in my notes, let's see, Meghan and Harry, I think, made Oprah look like a fool. I think that's why they pulled it, so that it couldn't be seen again. That once it came out and people debunked the lies and said this wasn't true, this didn't happen, and 17 to 20-something different mistruths, porcupines again. But Meghan even then had that victim narrative where Oprah was really a victim. So it was rags to riches, fairy tale story, marrying a prince, and she was telling her truth while she was controlling the narrative, what questions were allowed to be asked, and planned responses for what she would say to those while she was twisting the truth into different lies. This was on a CBS primetime special, so the fallout was just really bad. It aired on Friday, March the 12th, 8 p.m. at 2021. It was for 2 minutes, but the actual interview was 90 minutes. There were 30 minutes of advertising and commercials, which it was reported that those spots would go for about $200,000. Whether or not they were actually ever paid for this, I don't know. Oprah said they weren't paid, so I don't know who received payment for it. I kind of feel like there was a deal work behind the scenes. But then it was just a huge disaster. And let's see, what was the next thing? All right, and then going on. So because Oprah really did have a rough childhood, and she grew up and very impoverished, and she worked her way to the top, and she didn't do it by marrying a man and social climbing her way up. She did it by the old-fashioned way, hard work. She got her education. She worked at jobs. She slowly moved her way up, and she had an incredible gift and talent to and a way interviewing style. She was very empathetic, and people just grew to love her, and she became highly popular. So why would she want to put her neck back out on the chopping block for these two again? I don't think there's any relationship between them, and I think she's mad that she put herself out to help them. And remember, Gayle King, her best friend, had reported that Oprah said that this was the best interview that she'd ever done. Well, she thought it was true and that all of these bombshells were being dropped and that she had Harry, who was an actual blood prince, not just Sarah, Duchess of York, that had married into the family, but she had Harry right there backing things up. But even Harry come in and said things differently than what Meghan did. So I think that Oprah would say, thank you, but no thank you. Been there once, not doing it again. As far as whether or not they'll show up for the Platinum Jubilee, I guess that depends on what they're going to allow them to be involved in. If she thinks that that they can, it will help their brand going forward and be able to get some content for Netflix so that they don't drop Harry, then there's a good chance that they'll show up and take the kids. But really, in my heart of hearts, I've thought all along that at the last minute there would be something, some kind of excuse that came up. Because think about it, this is going to make her look bad going back. And think about the squatties, if you're listening and you're the paid trolls, and you say all these hateful things and you call the royal family racist and talk about reparations for slavery. Well, they didn't enslave anybody. But how are you okay with it that the person who pays you or that the person you're doing these things for is wanting to go back and be a part of that family, wanting to go over and take her children so that they can meet them? If she said all these nasty, horrible things about the way she had been treated from them, how are you okay with now her wanting to, go over at different times or make amends and try to still be a part of the family because she needs it for her brand? So how does that make y'all feel? Do y'all get orders to say, hey, if we're going over, tone it down on the hateful remarks, at least while we're there, and then you can dial it back up the minute we leave? So I really feel like that they're not going to go, that they're still using those kids, and that she's not going to make the trip over knowing that she's despised and that nobody wants to have anything to do with them because they feel like she's the one that took Harry away from them. Not that they're not mad at him, too. I'm sure they very much are. But he is family, and she is not. So I don't think that they're going to attend, but I'm dying to know what you all think. But, and do you think that Oprah will do another sit down with them? And if she does, do you think she would come up with her own questions and at least come back and do follow-up questions to whatever answers or responses they give? Do you think that Harry and Meghan are going to show up? Because I think it's strange that Neil Sean just was told by Kensington Palace that it's no longer confirmed, that we're waiting for them to get back with us and let us know if they're coming, but that they're asking what they're going to be doing, how much or how little, and they'll make their decision based on that. But thank you so much for listening. Have a fabulous day, and I'll be back with you all very soon. Thank you so much.